decided it's time for me to do another video while I'm out here in this Arizona desert driving. So I run across people all the time that beat their wife, abuse their family members, whether it be sexual or they got a motherfucking just domestic violence, just beating their woman's ass. They always blame it on stuff like alcohol. I believe alcohol enables you to do it, but there's something in here still that ain't right. And I have my issues, but I ain't never been to jail for domestic violence or anything like that. I think, I won't say that. I think me and my brother had a fight one time in the early 90s. But what I can say is this. How can you do something to somebody that you had it done to you so you know what it felt like? My language is a little vulgar. You'll have to excuse my personality and the way I talk. I don't have any, I'm not, what's the word I'm looking for? Impassionate about what I'm talking about. In other words, it's not that I don't have sympathy for the subjects, because I definitely do, or I wouldn't be speaking on it. But it seems like the way I say it, the terminology is like, wow, So where I'm going with this is, if somebody had their fingers in your ass, and you know what that shit felt like, you were molested, okay? And you know what that shit's like. Why would you do it to somebody else? Why would you do the same fucking thing? You knew what that shit felt like. And these are your people, supposedly, that you say you love, your whatever. It could be your kids, it could be, whatever. Or why would you beat your woman and bust her in the mouth and open her shit all up, and you know what that shit felt like? You done had it happen to you. I have my issues. Mine is probably, it's mental. Like, if me and my woman are having a fight, I tell her I'm gone and I'll leave. Or I tell her, for her to go back to her mom's house if she's got family like that. That's my way of dealing. That's my abuse. But I'm not going to open somebody's shit up. And I'm not saying that one necessarily is worse than the other. I mean, I fought myself for a lot of mistakes. Everything I speak on, I know something about it firsthand. Either it was something that was done to me, or it's some fucked up dumbass shit that I did. And it just needs to be spoke on. And maybe by me is better than by somebody that don't know nothing about it. My dad used to stomp me and my brother out here in this desert, out here in Arizona, where I'm at right now. He moved way the fuck out there in the fucking Maricopa Desert, quartzite shit, way the fuck out in the middle of nowhere. He would go so far, and he had a bus that he built into a camper. He would go so far out here in this fucking desert, then he would stop and camp for the night. And he would get out and he'd, survey the area. We did recon. He walked around the whole area looking for any signs that anybody had been out that far. And when he found some, trash or tire tracks or anything, the next day, guess what? We were going out further. He had us stand out there in that fucking desert all day long with our hands on top of our head just like this. Couldn't open your eyes. Nothing. Every so often he'd come out there and start beating you with his fist. Then when he was finished with one, he'd go to the other one. But he wouldn't stop till he was tired. Today I have a very bad complex. I went through that all the way till I was probably about 10. And finally the police caught him. And it's a long story. It'll be in my book, but they caught him as he was making his run for it. I'm talking about it was a 3 or 4 day run from Mississippi, because he had went out to Mississippi for a while. And shit continued out there. It was just indoors in a shed in a building where he had to stand. Things were a little different because he was closer to neighbors. It was still on property, still living in a bus. What I'm getting at is that they caught him in Pharr, Texas. Pharr. Look it up. Pharr, Texas. Down there by Brownsville, Texas. Brownsville and Pharr is like Dallas and Fort Worth type shit. That's the border to go over to Mexico. That was his plan. He got him a little house there in Pharr for 1 month so he could collect disability checks that he had coming on me, my brother, and my sister. And then he was headed across the border. But guess what? The feds followed them checks and they caught his ass. He got a lot of time for what he did. I think he was sentenced to like 20 or 25 years. I think he did like 10 or 15. Got out. Long story short is that he left us down there. And eventually me and my brother ended up in the system, TYC, Texas Youth Commission. My brother did a little short stay and then more time in foster homes. I was in foster homes too, but the reality of it is that I was fucking up every day. I wouldn't let, I was just, man, I can't explain it. I was crazy. I was just acting a motherfucking fool. I couldn't even explain none of the shit to myself. But what I can tell you is that you can't stop somebody out and then put them in the system in Texas. Down there on the border, I don't need to tell you, a lot of them whites didn't have no love for no white boys. Neither did a lot of blacks. It's just facts. I mean, you can sit up here and talk all this shit. You might be a square, don't know nothing about it, ain't did no time. And it's hard, especially if you're the minority. Because I was the minority in the 80s, okay? I was a minority in a couple of different ways, by my race, and number two, by my age. 10, 11 years old, I was getting picked on every day. Get my food taken away from me. I mean, there wasn't shit I could do. You got motherfucking 16, 17-year-old kids tatted up. Some of them in there for murder. Some of them in there, for doing all kinds of fucking crazy shit that I had never heard of. So I grew up in that. That's what that number is on my arm. I grew up there. That was it. My parental rights were literally given over to the state of Texas. I still got my paperwork. And I went from there to the penitentiary. And I went from there to coming to Kansas, trying to work a fucking job. And if a person raised their voice at me, or they were staring at me too hard, or they looked at me and laughed about something, when I was small and young, people used to laugh at me and make fun of me about my fucking nose. It's been busted a few times. Same thing with my brother. The reality of it is that I couldn't let that slide, and at any cost, and that included the cost of me losing a fight. I had to do something about it. I didn't like it. I mean, I was scared. I was scared I was going to lose. But I'll be goddamn if I let another motherfucker put his hands on me after what done happened to me in my life. I'm not going to do it. And so I don't have any respect for people that do shit like that. Sorry, I'm going just bumpy roads here. So what kind of motherfucker are you that it happened to you, now you want to do it to somebody else? Now you want to beat other people. Especially the people you love. One day, it may come that somebody's going to shoot me for what I do. Because when a motherfucker come at me with that shit, I try to open their fucking head up to the white meat. And I mean, I don't give a fuck. And I don't play all that fair shit. It's not, hey, let's catch a square and let's you and me square up on each other. No, motherfucker, I'll let you think it's good. So when I hit you, I can put you in a fucking coma. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't play that fair shit. There's some shit I've had to let slide in my life. I got people standing here with guns and I've had to let them get away. I think about them every fucking night. Even today as I'm enjoying some success. What I'm saying is that I still got a lot of problems I'm working on. I still haven't overcame everything. I stay to myself. I don't get along well with a lot of people. I stay in my own lane. I try not to go over the fucking edge. I know that one day I'm going to run into another me or worse, and I'm going to have to deal with that. That's my life. I'm dodging prison every day. And I got my record expunged. You know how bad that feels to not know whether or not you're going to make it home? Even out here on this road. You know, I got to deal with dumbass shit and crazy shit, and I try to be as righteous as I can. And that's my mind frame. If I'm doing it wrong, I'll apologize to somebody. I wouldn't used to do that when I was younger because I thought it was a sign of weakness. I don't mess with no drugs. I don't mess with. I drink very little. Every so often. Here lately, I've been drinking a little bit more, but I don't have a drinking problem. You know what I mean? I drink socially, I guess you'd say. Like I have my sister-in-laws, and my wife's family might come through the house, and I might have tossed back a few. But drugs, I stayed away from it. It was a weakness in the penitentiary. It's a weakness in the juvenile system. It's a weakness in society, period. I don't fuck around with no fucking drugs. You know, I'll just deal with what I got to deal with, and I want to be alert for every moment, every motherfucking event that happens. Because I'm going to have to answer for it, right or wrong. I'm going to have to answer for that, and I don't want to say I don't remember. You know, and, you know, it's a weak way out. You know, stand up and handle your business. Get the fuck up. Get the wind beneath your feet. I done been through it. I done been way through it. Enough that I done had many COs and wardens and motherfucking psychiatrists and people like that. Oh man, you should write a book. Now back in the day, I didn't have time to write no fucking book. I never, and fuck a book. You know, and plus I was scared to put my weaknesses out there. Now I'm a grown ass man now. I'm 46. I don't think like that no more. I'm not worried about that. What you gonna do to me that ain't been done? You know, them motherfuckers gonna get on these videos eventually when they start getting out, and they're gonna make negative comments. They're gonna try to scrutinize everything I say. You know, and I gotta remind myself that 9 out of 10 of them is doing it because they're on the internet. And the other ones is just straight haters no matter what. So, you know, some people talk bad about my cars. I like being me. I like doing what I want to do. You know, and living like I want to live. I don't like racist comments either. That's another thing. You know, my wife is black. I've been raised black kids. I've dated Mexican women. And I have every reason in the world, if there's a reason, to be racist. I was picked on by all these colors. It ain't no weakness in me. I stayed and withstood the fight. I stayed. I didn't run from what was causing me problems. If anything, I stayed until I could make them respect me. You know, yes, it was hard. And in the beginning, I would love to say I did it because I was that tough-ass motherfucker, but that wasn't the reason I did it in the beginning. I had no choice. I mean, what was I going to do? It was just me. And maybe a couple other different white dudes that were older than me. They weren't paying me no attention. So it wasn't until I got to the penitentiary where I really started seeing a difference in the shift and the races starting to even up a little bit. But at the end of the day, I have been raised around blacks and Mexicans all my life. So my personality is going to reflect such. The way my cars are, the way my vehicles look, my dress code, maybe even a little bit of my language. But one thing you will never hear me do is you see a lot of you white dudes and even you Mexican cats walk around here, what's up, my nigga? I don't believe in that. That's not art. That's not what we do. That is to me, that is disrespectful. It is. When you wouldn't want some black dude walking up to you and saying, hey, what's up, cracker? I mean, there are some that do. You know, you got a lot of woods and they embrace that too. You know, but they're not going to embrace it from another race. My point being is that that's not my language. That's not that language. That particular word has a different meaning to different blacks. Some blacks accept it, which I think is wrong. I wouldn't accept it from nobody else. And they say, well, they call each other that. Okay, well, they earn that right. That's their shit. That's what they do. You know, I don't believe in doing that at all. And if you hear me say it, I'm repeating what somebody else said, or I'm repeating the quote. So I don't want to get into all these different subjects. I'm going to have a video out about that here eventually too. But I done been out here, I done sold dope. I done been to prison for an armed robbery, home invasion robbery. assaulted many people. You know, I done put my pistol up some motherfuckers' heads. I mean, I done been in shootouts with people. I don't want to make it sound like it's a lot. It wasn't. There's probably about 2 or 3 of them that I've actually been in my whole life. But, you know, with everything else that's done happened to me, I've lived a pretty well-rounded life, I'd say, in the negativity realm, I guess. There's a dude that's always talking about this inheritively negative. He's inheritively negative. That's me. I am inheritively negative. I have bipolar. I have intermittent explosive disorder. I'll stick my foot in your ass, and 2 minutes later, I'm trying to help you get off the ground and tell you how sorry I am. Genuinely felt. That's intermittent explosive disorder. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to educate myself. I make efforts. But back to the subject at hand, the most one is that if you are putting your hands on somebody and you're saying that you're doing it because it was done to you, I don't understand that. You have to educate me on that. I don't understand. Because I know what that shit felt like to me, and I can't physically harm or beat other people the same. Now, I have had raised kids that I've handed out ass whoopings that I should have waited until I was in a better mood. But I believe in being strict with kids because we as parents have a lot to overcome. You've got peer pressure, and they're in school all day, and then they come home with you for a couple of hours, and then next they sleep in, and then they back to school where the peer pressure is. I'm not losing no kids on my watch to gang violence. I'm not losing no kids to drugs. I'm not losing nothing. So if I need to make sure that I'm the strict parent that I need to be to make sure you're doing what the fuck you're supposed to do, I'm not your friend. At least not now. You know, in the beginning, I'm not your fucking friend. I'm gonna make sure you do what the fuck you're supposed to do one way or the other. Now, if you raise children from when they're small, I'm talking about 1, 2 years old, you really shouldn't have to do that. And you shouldn't have to whoop them. But when you're with a woman that's 7, 8, 9 years old, or they got kids, or 8, 9, 10 years old, they've already started developing pride, their ideal of what life's supposed to be, and if they've been in a relationship, if their mama's been in a relationship with somebody that's fucked up, real fucked up, and been in a few bunch of crazy fucked up relationships, well, the kids are already a little damaged, and it takes a lot to get them back on track where they need to be, and not so they don't head out the door towards, negativity. That's another video in itself too. And what I'm saying is that you sitting up here beating motherfuckers and drinking and blaming it on alcohol, you need to check your fucking self. You need to, if she don't want to leave you because she loves you, you need to get your ass out. Don't wait on her. You man enough to beat somebody, be man enough to catch that door and get the fuck out and realize you need to, if you can't stop yourself and you can't control yourself, okay, then get out. Now. Don't make them victims like you was. I don't understand it. I guess that's pretty much all I want to talk about today. But, all right.